Hey everybody, this is Tazilon. I am here in Prokhorovka Standard Mode South Spawn in my SP1C to take a little more in-depth look at passive spotting, specifically bush passive, and even deeper than that, bush hopping, which is a continuation of regular passive bush spotting, except you're going to progress up the field of battle, going from bush to bush and staying hidden as you go and spotting tanks as you go, and then allowing your teammates to kill as you go. It's a great way on maps like this where there's a lot of bushes to advance up the field, slowly clear out an entire side of the map, and then turn that into a giant flanking maneuver to put the killing blow on the enemy. And as always, it's not something you do just at the beginning of the battle. Now, in bush hopping, it's going to take a series of time to do it, but at any point in the battle, on any map that has bushes, you can end up resorting to this technique or turning to it. So it's something you have to remain aware of as you go through a battle. You could say, for example, start open spotting, or by open spotting I mean active spotting or sniping or anything else, and then in the course of the battle as it progresses, you could turn to passive bush and bush hopping as you go, because that's what's right for the situation. You always have to be ready to change what mode you're in based on what's happening on the battlefield. Now, this being proc and bushes being plentiful, I'm opting to do this from the very beginning. I don't know if I'm going to get to bush hop, but I know I'm going to try to passive. But what I'm looking at right now as the battle starts is, number one, there's one RD piece. Number two, there's one enemy scout along with me, and he's an M41 Bulldog, which means he has a great speed advantage over me. Now, the SP1C isn't that great of an active spotter, and it's not even that great of a half-court spotter. It's the two ways to attack this map as a scout. You half-court spot up in here, or you try to passive spot over along the one row. So, I have to think about what I want to do, because I'm not that great in this tank at half-court spotting, and if the M41 decides to go over to the one line, I know he's going to beat me there because he has a huge speed advantage, coupled with the fact that I'm starting off on the right side of my spawn, which makes it even worse because I have a little bit longer to go than I would if I started over on the left side of spawn. So everything's stacked against me. So what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to get up to E1, I'm just going to try to make it to this row of bushes right here, and hopefully I can pull into there undetected and then spot for my team from that point. One of the worst things you can do as a scout, or really as any tank you're driving, is to say, I always go to this place and do this, so that's what I'm going to do this battle. It's like you have to adjust what you're doing based on the enemy team and what kind of opposition you're up against. And what you can get away with in one tank, you may not be able to get away with in another. In this case, speed is the limiting factor for me, so I have to adjust what I'm doing and acknowledge the fact that I just don't have the fastest scout out there. So I'm pulling up. I'm hoping he's not up here pulling into E1 right now, because we're going to spot each other. There I see a TD. So I'm going to try to keep these bushes between me as I approach, and I managed to successfully gain this bush. Then I make a mistake because I think the Bulldog can't see me. He's too far away, and I fire, and he ends up spotting me. So I know he's around somewhere, and now I know kind of where he's at. He's not up here. There's only one place he can be. I back up, twisting around to try to keep from getting fired upon again. And I know right now he is in this bush right here, because it's the only place he could be where he could spot me without me having seen him. So I'm going to call on my team to fire into this bush, and if they get him to move, now I will get to see him, because I'm back in this bush and they don't know I'm here. I'm getting spots from my team. I'm hoping they fire into that bush. E25 moves up, and look, there he is, right where I thought he was. Just process of elimination. I don't see him in E1 where I would have seen him if he was there, so that's the only other place he could have been to see me. I'm not going to fire again. I want to stay here without them knowing I'm here. E25 died right away, so I'm the eyes for my team right now. Now for the moment, I'm not hopping at all. I'm going to stay here and let my team do their work. Once again, patience is the key. They may not always kill something as fast as you see it, but you have to give them time. I have a lot of tanks behind me. Look at how many tanks behind me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks potentially able to fire at the spots I'm having, so I just have to give them time to do their damage. Get some kills, and then at that point, once the tanks thin out, that'll be time to hop up to the next bush in the series. I'm wanting him to kill that KV-5 while he's out here, not right in the open and easy to hit. They're blasting away at him, slowly wearing him down. It takes a while. A couple people are shooting at the IS. It's really better if they focus fire, but it's hard to get that many tanks to all fire at the same target. So you request fire on him, and now he disappears, so we'll focus on another tank while the KV-5's concealed. He'll move again. As soon as he moves again, I'll see him. In the meantime, they take out the IS-6. We know the KV-2's farther back there. Now he moves again, and voila. Now he's going to die. Okay, I know there's a TD up there a little bit straight ahead of me. I know KV-2's way in the background. The Bulldog died. Don't have to worry about him anymore. My team's getting restless. They want more action, so... Oops, there's the TD. Take him out, and then I'll move up. I'm getting in position now. Here's what I'm going to do. There's a whole line of bushes right up here. This set of bushes right here I'm going to move to next. Wait. And if you have binoculars, it's definitely you want to wait long enough for your binoculars to turn on and see what you can see before you advance. And then I plan on, if I have to stop as I go, if I see tanks, I'll pull up into these bushes, stop. If I don't see tanks, I'm just going to keep going until I see something. And again, if I had binoculars, I may advance 2 or 3 bushes, stop, let them turn on, and see if I see anything. No? Okay. I'll go farther. Now in this case, I see 2 tanks right here, so I'm not moving anywhere. Same as last bush, I'm going to sit here until these guys die or go away. And then once they're dealt with, then I'll advance further and see what I see next. A lot of people make the mistake, they get carried away. They had that successful first round of passive spotting. They go, oh, I'm just going to cruise up here and see what I can see right out in the open. Which makes no sense, because you have a whole line of wonderful bushes right here to hide your progress to the north. Take advantage of the concealment the map gives you. So off I go. Now if I see another tank, I'll stop. If I don't see another tank, I'll keep going and make sure this whole side is clear. I know there was a TD farther back there. There he is. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to take this shot myself. I don't think there's anybody left over here. Now we know where every other tank in the battle is, except for the Su-122. But he's not here over here on this side. And so I don't have the passive anymore. I'm going to cut across the southern or the northern end of the battle. Got the 2 guys over to my right. I'm not really worried about them. We got a bunch of tanks dealing with them. I want to go find the 122-44. He's over on the other side of the railroad tracks, but I don't know where. I don't know if he's up here, down in here, or over in here. One of those 3 places, because otherwise he would have been spotted by now. So I'm going to get to use the bush one more time. Not very effectively because I get spotted before I do it, but had it taken longer to kill this guy, it would have worked. There he is. I'm going to set up to where I can fire behind this bush. He spots me, but it doesn't matter because he can't turn toward me. And within a few seconds I disappear, but he's also going to die. And there you have it. A quick look at bush hopping up the west side of Prokhorovka. You can do that on a lot of different maps. Any map where there's a series of bushes in a row, you can do it. You pull forward and from bush to bush until you see the next enemy, then you stop. And you wait for your team to take those guys out, and then you start moving through the bushes again until you see the next person, then you stop, and you repeat that as long as you have to clear that area of the map. It's a form of passive spotting, but it's not sitting there. Passive doesn't mean sit still. Passive means hidden. The goal is to stay hidden and let your team shoot with very little risk of taking damage in return. From Prokhorovka, bush hopping my way to, I think in this battle I had 4,000 or 5,000 points of spotting damage. Happy hunting.